All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
rezero, Season 3, Episode 12. We had a wonderful, stunning performance.
We did indeed.
But now we might get into, like, you know, something going down at a church. And maybe getting some people out.
Yeah. Emilia is being set up by Subaru to utilize the secret technique of strategically running away while you verbally taunt your way overpowered compared to you opponent.
Right.
Which is working tremendously.
Yep.
So if Emilia can then separate them from, at the very least, where Regulus would even know where they are, or potentially separate them in such a way that they would ruin Regulus's ability in some way.
Yep.
Because it does feel kind of weirdly like he's collected his like little, contingent of souls or something.
Right. Sad little king of a sad little hill.
Yeah, exactly. And just a very minor, small world thing. We've had some ways in which the magic has been explored in things that we haven't really seen before, like with Priscilla's dress and like items being stored on you to basically bank up power for use with stuff later.
Right, so if you have something like that with the wives.
If you have something like that with clothes, why not have something like that with the wives potentially?
Yeah.
It's just something to think about.
He is definitely treating the wives as possessions, so it's not even that different.
It's really not. It's really not from his perspective, no.
Yep.
So, I'd also really love to just see Emilia end up talking with the one that she's actually like made a decent connection with. One of them who's like been kind of inspired and also kind of shocked by the way that Emilia acts.
Right.
It'd be kind of fun to see them also interact as characters.
Yeah, kind of our window into how it is for all of them.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Go, Emilia. Yeah, they're all exactly where they are before. Oh, their faces. Just that blank shock. Yeah, there's more.
Yep, we're alive. You need to understand them in order to persuade them, Emilia.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Right, you aren't just numbers, you aren't just objects. Yeah. Who are you?
Yep, just Emilia. Their faces changed. Right. Because you're still alive.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why you came.
Quiet desperation.
And spent all this time with her. Yeah.
Right. Because you wanted her to get to know you. And they could just say no, but... Whoa. Oh, they all just... Not even requiring them to deny it, but just...
Whoa.
Oh, and standing up.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's my name.
That's her name. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. They've moved.
All right, let's get out of here.
Now, it's gonna be really, you're gonna have to probably form like groups of 5, like split up.
シルフィーの力を借りてもいい？もちろんです。じゃあちょっとごめんね。
Oh no!
レグルスは自分が花嫁って決めた人の心臓に。
Wow! All right.
Okay.
An extra heartbeat.
All right.
Oh, taunt him this way.
の大事な心臓は妻たちに預けてある。でも妻たちの誰が心臓の所有者か、僕にも当の妻にも。
No, but now we know.
Oh.
Or are they all like fakes, maybe, and there's one that's real.
シルフィー、
Oh.
There could theoretically be decoys.
最初からこうしていればよかったんですね。
Oh, wait. Oh, shit.
Hold on.
と何か方法が。
No, I had a feeling it would be this way, but
どうして勝手に諦めるの？そんなの絶対。
no, this
I mean,
is my
it's not
fight.
a give up. This is, in her way, her, giving the biggest middle finger ever.
心は踏みにじられ、
You know what you really need?
体には手を出して。
Is you really need a certain overpowered knight right about now.
あの男は私たちがかすり傷一つ。
Oh, jeez.
傷は私の。
His wound is the proof of my freedom.
と私が死んだら、あの男の心臓は次の誰かに。
Okay.
あの男が愛せるのは自分ただ一人ですから。
So then, clearly this isn't the answer.
No.
Wait, hang on.
私たちで終わらせたい。
Okay, how about we try something else first, though?
待って。
Yeah. Nice.
お願い。
Wait, if she froze them, their hearts would stop.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
shit!
Let's go, Emilia. Let's go.
Shit!
This is
やらないでください。
oh beautiful. It's so simple and elegant, but
ああ、死んだふり。死にそうなふりか。
mostly dead. Yeah.
お前は死にかけの敵を見つけたら。
Yes. Yes, he would.
Fantastic.
He absolutely
would.
クソ野郎以外の模範解。
Textbook.
Yeah.
Textbook. Basic ass. Oh my god.
じゃあいるが、エミリアにどう伝えりゃいい。
Yeah.
No, you don't need to. She's giving the signal.
Now
She
just
did it.
get away if you can.
おい、これはお前
Oh, it worked.
何の罪もない妻たちの命。
I love it. Apply directly to the forehead.
あなたの花嫁さんたち。
The divorce paperwork.
絶対上だと思う。
Oh my god. The disrespect.
No
The
OP
absolute.
needed.
Just.
じゃあこれであいつの獅子の心臓は。
そう簡単にはいかない。
He's moving. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
どう挽回するのかな。そんなわけがねえ。
You're gonna pay up.
お前もベラベラ喋って。大方その尻軽女が数。
Oh.
Okay, maybe he does, yeah.
53人。
Yeah.
あ
53人よ。それがあなたが無理やり押さえつけていた女。
Wow.
私は命。
Wow.
But were they all at the church? Maybe that's also why he messes up with like the numbers and things, so that it's harder for people to keep track.
レグルスの心臓はここ。今、私の胸の。
Oh.
Okay.
Right. He already did the same like magic basically
Right,
to
right.
her.
自分たちで自分たちの首をギリーッと締めてるってことをさ。
But that's also cool because since they wouldn't be able to have it, it's now for sure in her.
試してみれば。他に僕の心臓が宿る場所があるかどうか。
This would never happen, but can you imagine how funny it
Yeah.
would be if
待て、ダメだ、挑発に。
No.
本当にダメだ。それだけは。
Nah, she's giving him a weapon.
Yeah.
So that when she freezes herself.
なんだっけ。滞在死去。
Yeah, you did that?
I'm finding that very hard to believe. Yeah.
あんな出来損ないを殺した
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Oh. Yeah. Grab it out. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
なんだそこにいたんだね
Whoa.
先生
Whoa. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah. Boom. Let's go.
All right, now take care of him for me, honey.
I wonder if he could tell. Yeah, he didn't see anything.
He doesn't
didn't see
even
shit.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because unseen hand.
Yeah.
I love it. He'll keep shit talking.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear it? Oh! Yeah, just kick his ass! Oh! Boom!
Usopp's hammer!
Oh! Is it like... Yeah! Just jumped up all
Yeah.
the way up here.
Uh-huh.
Oh! Yes!
Yeah. I counted.
Yeah, she, Emilia's hitting him with the muda.
これで最後50
That was each one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
ブルースゲーム
Wait, what was that? That almost felt like a heartbeat.
That might have just been him feeling his own heart for like
Oh.
first time.
無敵化するために自分の心臓を止めなくちゃならない
Yeah.
時間制限付きの無敵化だな
Nice.
So he cheated it and now he's feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
二人がかりで一人を痛めるような真似をして心が痛まないわけそして人として
Yeah!
2対1なんて卑怯者
You want to do a one-on-one? Like,
正々堂
yeah, sure.
And then Reinhardt comes back down.
Yeah, this shot of the sky, you know?
レグルスお前との一騎打ち受けてやってもいいぜ
He's so happy!
Yeah.
そうだな
Yeah. Yeah, but I have my night fight for me.
Uh-huh.
なっちまうが最後は任せる
Yeah.
分かったよ
Here he comes. God is here. Holy shit.
生まれた一騎打ち
Yeah.
必死として受けよう
Uh-huh.
My re-entry orbit took some time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
月に向かって投げるべきじゃ
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
god. He did Saitama it!
Yeah.
He Saitama it!
Yeah.
This...
And now he has to use his invincibility. Yeah.
So he took the hit, though.
Right?
最も満たされて最も子として完成されたお前らが僕を憐れんでかわいそうだって
Leaving you alone? No.
You wish.
We're gonna double tap in a second here.
Unless he's actually just getting sent to space here.
僕の最初の妻は何をしたって笑わなかったただ綺麗な顔でずっと僕を
Oh, I don't care.
笑わせられなかったんじゃない笑わなくていいんだ
This reminds me of FMAB, where just wailing and
Spiraling and...
yeah. Ah.
そして最後の瞬間にだ
Ah. Every point when
Yeah.
he killed them, they started laughing at him and how pathetic he was.
Oh.
どうして僕が一人きりになるのをいい気味だなんて笑うんだ
Or,
Well, it might be that
Wow.
it's because he thinks they're dead, you know?
hello.
決闘であれば戦う意志をなくし 時点で僕も剣を引くところだけどね。
Yes, I am a monster. Yeah, yeah,
Hope you time it well.
I think he did.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh. Oh, no, not drown. Crushed into a
Yeah.
pulp.
And now he'll be buried.
Oh, no, he will drown slowly.
79番目の妻、その予定だった女。
Yeah. Yeah. All the way back then.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love it.
So,
僕が死んで、あの娘が
Yeah.
ペテルギウスの
wild.
Yeah.
Fortuna was number 79.
Nice. Yeah, as he slowly drowns.
女が僕が死んで喜ぶなんて。
Yeah, we're really milking this death
Uh-huh.
here. I think they just want us to be aware that he's
Yeah.
definitely dying, you know? The loop, yep. Yep.
That was fantastic.
Cinema,
That was great.
we killed the villain.
Yep.
He's been defeated.
That was such a satisfyingly thorough end.
Right, they satisfied all your, like, typical requirements of, like,
Yeah.
we made sure.
You gotta double tap. And
Especially
also,
against an immortal, time-stopping,
Right.
you know.
but
you
then
know.
also inertia and bludgeoning damage actually being like important. Because yeah, if I just send you colliding through the ground,
You're
eventually
rubbing against the ground at max
like,
speed the whole way through.
and you're invincible. So the ground is breaking in front of you.
Yeah.
Which means it's, you know, and I kick you hard enough that you're not really stopping anytime soon. So you gotta keep that, you know, your heart stopped that whole time. And if you ever let it up,
Oh. And now all the wives are unfrozen.
like
They'll
something
probably
out of a
all
fairy
have
tale.
fevers for a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But,
All right, now let's get you some medical attention.
right. Oh. Well done.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
私も凍ってた時間が長かったから
Right,
Nice.
right.
みんなも大丈夫かしら
そのためのラインハ
That's what Reinhard could deal with that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, another sad duel.
Oh. All right.
Alright, Garf. Yeah. Next episode.
That was such a satisfying, just literal grinding into the dirt.
Oh yes.
Like I love it.
We crushed. We crushed his corny ass
Oh yeah.
into dust.
Yep. We full on like pile drivered him deep into the ground. And I love it.
And we dropped, you know, the C on him
Exactly.
there.
Right. Like the amount of double tap, like both double tap, but then also like just the fun beating the shit out of him. Like Emilia full on aura-ing him.
That
one
was
punch
so
for each wife.
extra.
That's fantastic.
I mean, it's such a fun call back to just older anime in general. But the idea of Emilia getting to do it here,
Yep.
because a lot of what her growth and story has been about learning what like love is, and so now that she knows what love really is, being able to see a bastardized, evil, sick version of it, and someone that could have the audacity to call that love.
Right.
Basically teach them a lesson, and it's
Oh, yeah.
sorry, you don't get any like time after the lesson
Yep.
to walk it out.
With the full on like ice hammer and everything, because I feel like a lot of the times the enemies that we fight in this show are so ridiculously powerful
So ridiculously powerful.
that Emilia doesn't get her chance to shine a lot of the time, I feel like, because while she is very powerful, it's the and then,
Everyone is still so much more powerful in general.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're like specifically Reinhard, it's just it's not a competition, right?
Yeah.
And so this was nice here to like, especially as kind of recompense, almost like both to the characters, but then almost to us, the audience, for having to put up with this dude spouting his bullshit for so long. That we get to actually like let him baste in his defeat.
And
you know?
thus we kind of also are forced to baste in it a bit as well. Like we got almost the very like light novel treatment of an omniscient perspective of seeing his thoughts and his ramblings and ravings as he's being broken and spun about by
it's not my fault, or this is unfair,
this is how they laughed at me.
Yeah,
and I like that we actually get to see that, because this is a man that's dying. He's going to die.
Yep.
So the last moments of his life can be then his, those are his last moments.
Right. Well, and also I think it's really important, because it's not that like, yes, this guy needs to just go away, right? Like, he needs to die.
He's be put 60 feet under.
Exactly. Just for that extra measure. But it's also the whole thing of you don't want him to just be defeated physically. You want him to be defeated on an emotional level, on a philosophical level, right?
And also maybe even just to see internally if there was anything remotely good in there, anything really left over.
And I love that the thing that they give of the my first wife, right? And it's like
his life is flashing before his eyes.
So he was married originally. I don't think so. No, that's just the first person that he latched onto and
tormented, basically.
And said, "You're my wife," and then he decided to torment her. And it's like, yeah, that's like that. There you go.
Yeah, he never had love.
No,
nah. And the one time that he like thought back to that didn't have anything to do with it was just kind of a fun understanding of where his headspace was at back in the movie that we got with Emilia's backstory. And seeing that he wanted to take Fortuna
as another wife,
and Betelgeuse and her would not let that happen.
Yeah, no.
Now Fortuna did die.
It didn't go well for the two of them, but
did end up having to say goodbye to Emilia.
But the idea that we get that as like the added double dipping on this defeat here, where then he's like, oh wait a minute, so that little kid. That little kid grew up and came back here and killed me. Yeah. God damn it. You know.
Basically got to get her vengeance without even realizing it. Because in a lot of ways, it wouldn't be right for Emilia to do this as an act of vengeance.
Right.
This was an act of like, this is in some ways the justice that you deserve, but no one could give it to you. And so you needed somebody like Emilia and Subaru, who would be able to provide the hackneyed, ridiculous, crazy, roundabout way of defeating you in the most JoJo-ass way.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
It was fantastic.
I love it so much. And then even then, he still has his ability. I like that they clarified specifically what it would actually take for him to use it, why he would need to offset it into the wives, basically.
Right, is that he's stopping his own heart.
Right. So then when he distributes it, there's probably some aspect of it where there's diminishing results for them. So they would probably feel like a flutter, Sure. And we don't need to understand those mechanics.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea that he can then press the button infinitely, no turning it off ever, really. But then when he uses it here, it's he could actually maybe survive this.
Right, he actually has to try.
But in order to use it, he has to literally stop his heart.
Right.
Which is maybe if you hit them all really quick with an attack, you could actually win here.
Sure.
But Reinhardt's not going to let you have the time to.
He's not going to let you. But also, I want to, and this is not something that I think was implied necessarily by the show. But this is my own personal headcanon.
Go for it.
Because he uses it just fine to like break the ice, right? Like when he's like buried and all that stuff, and they didn't realize he could invincible himself again and all that stuff, right? But I like to think that after Emilia started kicking his ass, then the reason that he didn't use it is because there was that part of him that was actually genuinely, for the first time maybe in his whole life, scared, right? Because he knew he could actually get hurt. And that's then where hesitation sets in, because then you don't know what's the right thing to do. And as a result of that, Yeah,
he wasn't consciously couldn't do it.
Right,
he couldn't consciously do it in the same way that when he got hit by the pillar, that was him subconsciously doing it so he didn't get pasted into,
Right, exactly. There. But it's the thing. Well, I'm talking about the telekinetic abilities, not just the stopping of the heart. Right. Where because now he's actually threatened.
Well, those are all the same ability, basically.
No, right, but a different application of it, right?
I see what you're saying.
He's not thinking about how he can kill these people. He's like, oh shit, I'm in danger. I need to make sure I'm okay.
So he's using it primarily to protect himself.
To protect himself,
sure.
Right?
Now that makes a lot of sense.
Because he's never actually had to be in a situation where he had to fight for his life before, right? That's not something he's used to, and clearly he's ancient, right? So that's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and this is a very bad dog,
very, very old dog,
very old and very bad dog.
And I like that. Thus, he was also probably so rattled by the pain that he didn't actually block any of the punches, any of the 53 punches that she gave.
Sure, yeah.
I think really the only time that he was very specifically doing it before that was to break the ice, but then to survive the impact somewhat of the getting hit by Emilia into the pillar.
Sure,
But the initial hit that she blindsided him with the ice, that connected. That was it should be on. Wait, why is it not on?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And that's probably the thing that just is fun from a just audience perspective kind of thing here. Having an invincible antagonist is very fun story-wise after up to a certain point. And usually that point is different depending on the type of story you're telling or the type of characters they're up against from the protagonist perspective. But you usually have to have a point where you show progress being made by the protagonist to reduce the invincibility.
Right.
And it can be done in incremental ways where you have the villain feeling their invincibility waning. Something.
Or in the case of maybe Priscilla, you have the things that are, getting destroyed and all that stuff.
Right. So to have him almost be blindsided by wait, I'm wet. My shoes are feeling the dirt. And then suddenly Emilia comes in and it just blindsides even us, the audience.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best feeling for the way you're doing it here.
Oh, absolutely. And it's also just so fantastic because Subaru has been making him dance with his words, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so when they finally actually get it, he's like, look at your shoes. They're wet. This dude is so not used to actually being in danger, right? But also so proud that he's no bullshit, oh shit, right? But you know what he did there? He looked down.
Yeah.
And Emilia takes that opportunity and just bah. And I love it.
It's been also very satisfying with the this is kind of just a silly thing, but the Emilia glow up this season, she's been enhanced in a couple ways.
Sure, two specific ones.
No, but also another one is that this is the strongest display of her ice magic we've ever seen. And it's not letting up. It's not some kind of I'm so tired here.
Right.
It's she's doing this and she's doing this without relent. Yeah. And then she's jumping up from the ground. Right. Probably by, doing some bullshit ice launch her legs or what have you.
Right.
But then landing exactly where she needs to be. Then jumping out and just floating in the middle of the sky, firing an Alhuma. Girl went full, sorceress.
To say nothing of the punches, because those punches were drawing blood. And looking at physique, I would not have guessed Emilia to be a fantastic boxer, right?
No.
But
I think she's just so fucking pissed. Is that?
Oh yeah.
This guy's a frail little bitch too, but also this is 53 punches. It probably hurt her knuckles. It probably
I'm sure.
Actually kind of bruised her hands.
In fact, I like to think that she did that old classic where you make the little studs over the knuckles. So she made some ice studs for while she's punching him.
Yeah, she could have just literally made her hands cold enough so that they're numb to the pain.
Sure.
So that when she then is punching, she's not,
Right, she mini freezes her hands so that it's not flesh and squishy stuff that's hitting him. It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, very, very satisfying conclusion for a monster of a character that I never ever cared really about. He was just entertainment value and someone to be a punching bag at some point. So I'm glad they literally made him a punching bag in the end here. And God, this episode had so many anime references, but the idea that Reinhard did actually like hit the moon and launched himself back, and he was just taking the time necessary to traverse the two distances.
Right, and so when Subaru sees the fire in his eyes, that's him re-entering atmosphere.
Right.
And he's like, oh, okay, cool.
Gotcha. He like moves to the side a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, I'll keep him talking, you know.
Yeah.
Also, the bit of like Subaru being like, I pegged you as the kind of guy that when he's won, he starts to monologue. Like that I felt that took me back to Incredibles.
I felt
he starts monologuing. Yeah,
he starts like this prepared speech about how feeble I am, how inevitable my defeat is,
how the world will soon be his. Yeah,
I mean the guy has me on a platter and he won't shut up.
Yeah,
I loved it so much. He is really fun because if we're talking about Regulus, he is greed.
Yeah.
He wants it all, and then once he starts to lose everything, he goes, it wasn't my fault, which I love the screaming and ranting and the justified like kind of delusion that he's in, because all the Synarch bishops that we've seen have something that they chant, basically.
Okay.
Over and over and over again.
Sure. Yeah,
my
mind trembles. Yeah.
Regulus Romanicanti.
Sirius Romanicanti.
Did I say Regulus?
Yeah.
Sirius. Yeah. They've all had things that they just rant about because they're basically have their minds so warped by something,
by a specific thing
that's like just completely ruined them internally. And his is, it's not your fault, which is like, wait, so like your thing is that you felt such an overwhelming compulsion for this that you couldn't help but be a shitbag.
He says, it's not my fault. My first wife, she didn't laugh at any of my jokes. Like talking about this like it's a, his
tragic backstory.
Yeah, framing it like it's going into some tragic backstory. And so then, of course, I killed her, like all of her family and suitors and all that stuff. And it's not my fault. Like,
it's like, oh, John, you're so
holy shit.
fucking twisted.
Yeah.
So evil. Like I love that throughout this whole exchange, Subaru has been able to get under his skin because he knows what kind of person he is.
Yep.
And then when we actually end up seeing what kind of person he is, he's a little baby man. He's a little man that can't take responsibility. He can't even own up to the fact that this is literally all his fault.
Right. What did I do? I mean, what specifically?
Right. It's something where, to compare it to another story that has the 7 deadly sins as the archetypes for the main antagonists. A lot of them in that story also kind of have their moments at the end where they realize, this is who I am.
Right.
But most of them in that one accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, except really for one. But it was really fun to see him here realize, no, really, as close as he was to maybe understanding that this was all his fault, he then pivots to, wait, I remember that girl. Like,
that little bitch.
Like it's but whose fault is it then? It's Emilia's fault. And
right.
Or it's that bitch that wouldn't be my wife's fault.
Right.
It's Betelgeuse's fault. But I love that he then focuses on that and then gets to, in some ways, for his own sick whatever, be like, I offloaded all the responsibility onto them. Well, if they had actually let me have what I want, this wouldn't have happened.
And in a lot of ways, this is the big distinction between him and Subaru. Of course, while Subaru had some of the root perspectives maybe of this guy, of course, this guy is the extrapolated and flung into the future and iterating on itself 1,000 years or whatever, right? But the very fact that he isn't able to basically accept any of the responsibility for what's going on, right?
Right.
That's why taken over 1,000 years, right? he didn't grow. He just got worse, right? You know, all of those things, right? Whereas in the case of Subaru, yeah, he might not have, you know, accepted responsibility for it immediately, right? But eventually he did, right?
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to grow. That's how he was able to turn into the awesome person that he is today.
Yeah.
This person was not.
Yeah.
And so, of course, even in their final moments, even when it's, you know,
Abundantly clear.
Oh, what did I possibly do to deserve this? Would you like an itemized list? You know, like it's stacked pretty high. Yeah, he still can't accept it because he never would be able to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't just because they won the fight that they were right here.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Also, I know I said this already, but just there's something about the sound of crunch that can be so disturbing, you know, but in another context, so satisfying. And
it's that 1% reason, or when it's like, oh, it happened to, you know, Dio. It happened to, you know,
right, exactly. Most of the time when a crunch happens, I'm like, no, stop, show, why'd you do that?
Even,
you know,
even if it's for someone you don't like that much, you're just like, you vicariously, empathetically kind of connect with it. But when it's for the puppy kicker, you know,
exactly.
when it's for the like
this piece of shit.
Wife abuser,
right.
You know, slaughterer, like
sniveling, you know, everything's everyone else's fault, you know, and I'm just gonna kill a bunch of people, you know, because I don't like them, you know.
No, we feel nothing for you.
we maybe cheer just
a little bit.
Yeah.
Emilia had kind of obviously the great moment here with regards to defeating him, but also reaching out to Sylphie, which is now just such a fun reward for the story to basically have these 53 women who are now going to be in the story, going to get out of this.
Maybe get a lot of therapy and physical attention.
Right,
you know,
but also,
medical
in some ways be able to help each other. Because I feel like that's the part where this was so torturous, was not just the fact that they were united in their hatred, obviously, of Regulus, but the idea that they couldn't help each other and they couldn't help so many others before them. And so now being able to have that back, I love that the scene of all of them being unfrozen is them all leaning each other, hugging each other, crying, and just, it worked.
As far as little bits of, you know, world building that are just sort of in the background, the fact that she's number 184, and then it's like, did you count? Yes, there's 53. And that's not just, that means that there was like, you know, 100, you know, plus that died. No. While he's actively getting more wives, you know, and would probably be replacing previous numbers that had been killed, like, this shit has been going on for a long time.
And this is nothing to say also of just the means by which his powers actually worked with regards to how the cost of needing to stop the heart might have actually like hit some of them and they would just randomly drop dead.
Yep. Also,
like, we don't know.
Also, there's
no way to know, really.
The emergent mechanics of how this ability works, I love, because I feel like it gets so much at the kind of scumbag that Regulus is. So on the one hand, it's just poetic that, oh hey, if they actually rebel against him, that is a very effective means of stopping him. But then two, he's constantly killing his wives, which are his own source of survival, basically, right? That just feels right. That's part of the poetic, of course your journey was going to end, you know, getting pummeled into a hole. But then also the idea
your own worst enemy,
that he has to kill them when they start to show any signs of, you know, even the slightest hint of rebellion, because he's actually kind of terrified of them because they literally possess his heart, right? And so, he has to kill them and make a gruesome example, because if any of them started to get the hint that, you know, maybe we could actually just do anything else, right? Like maybe we don't have to like submit to this dude's, you know, sick rule, he would be in serious trouble.
He would be in trouble, yeah. But okay. All right, we're going to be following up with some boys throwing down.
And did Garf just off-screen kill the 6-arm or 8-arm demon dude or whatever?
I didn't care about
Oh,
that
I didn't
anyway.
either, but
I think it's more just that Garf had the whole thing dropped on him.
oh, sure,
And
yeah,
he
and
needed
so he
to
just
transform in order to break
to get
through.
out of
so
that. There we
we've
go.
kind of
There
gone
we go.
back
Yeah.
in time a little bit to follow up on that fight.
All of these are happening in parallel.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.